This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
And a pleasant good afternoon live from Elgin and the ball field that's hosting, because they are district champions for this Western Regional. We'll call it a semifinal. It's kind of a rematch of two teams that met earlier, and it was Altus. It was no scoring for the longest when I was kind of tuning in, and it was a 1-0 final. It was actually a rematch from earlier on where Guthrie actually won 10-5, I think, in an April outing for a tournament, and then now it basically gets to it's all or nothing. And so joining me in the broadcast, Chris Evans, part of the Guthrie family, and all of what you do for the Guthrie News page and everything else that you've done for years. And I kind of twisted your arm to say, well, I'll put you to work. I know you probably came to watch a little baseball, but understand that you got a son playing. So talk a little bit about this Guthrie Blue Jay team.
Well, Eric, it's good to be with you. We see each other at all these
events. Yes, that's right.
And so we finally get to work together. So
that's right.
That's pretty darn cool. But Guthrie comes into the game. They 22-10 on the season. Start the year off on a 13-game winning streak. That includes a win over the defending 5A champions Duncan Demons, a 2-1 victory over Dell. Easy part of the district was at the early part of the schedule. Carl Albert, Piedmont, McGinnis at the later part of the schedule. And Guthrie was able to split with McGinnis. Piedmont and Carl Albert, like many other schools, swept the Jays. But they're playing, pitching is in line today. We'll talk about more of that today, but pitching is in line because Guthrie Altus hopes to have a very long day today.
Well, and that's the thing is that we were playing a little bit with the Carl Albert-Duncan matchup, and they're playing right now on the Oklahoma Sports Network. They started at 2 o'clock. It was a 1-0 lead so far, Carl Albert over Duncan, the state defending champions. In fact, they came back and they held their ace. They lost to Carl Albert in that game 1, but they showed their moxie yesterday and forced that double elimination to go on with that. So we're going to get ready for the national anthem. When we do that, we're going to take a quick break. And for all those who are watching on Altus, we appreciate that. Download the app on Roku and Amazon Fire and Apple TV. Also on your Apple and Android devices. It's free to watch, free to play, and basically you can catch us anywhere on the go. So as they get ready for the national anthem, we'll take a timeout and be back to action for the semifinals of this West Regional here in Elgin, Oklahoma. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Scott's House of Flowers in Elgin has been proud to serve Elgin and the surrounding area with a wide variety of flowers and gifts for all occasions. Come see them for great gift ideas, including the exclusive Tyler candles. And who couldn't resist Sweet Shop USA, featuring handmade grand truffles. Scott's House of Flowers, just off Highway 277 in Elgin. Delivery available, or stop by for easy pickup. Phone 492-4880. Scott's House of Flowers.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
And welcome back to Elgin. We really didn't know the weather-wise what this was going to be today, considering a late storm. And luckily they got all the games in yesterday, because I was scared, because they said Coach Witt, the AD from Elgin, told me, well, we got storms that possibly rolling in at 6. Lucky it came a little bit later than that, and it really rolled through really fast-moving. But this hole was affected by a couple of days' rain that kind of confused. This was supposed to be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday matchup, but with Elgin hosting and their field was pretty soggy, they let Friday dry out, and then they started this for yesterday and today. So kind of getting it all in, and welcome to a Sunday afternoon setup where I was telling some people, I don't remember when the last time I ever did a broadcast on a Sunday afternoon, but, with baseball, and it's a spring sport, you never know what you're going to get. So Guthrie's going to be the first at bats, and Altus getting their last pitches in before we get underway. Yeah,
and all these teams probably want to get it in on Sunday because the state tournament begins on Thursday, right. So that gives you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to prepare. And very rarely do you see a high school team. It happens all the time in Little League and summer showcase tournaments, but very rarely do you see a high school team play 3 games in the same day, and that's what Guthrie and Altus is trying to do today. Of course, Elgin thinks they might just have 1 game, maybe worst case scenario for them 2 games, yeah. But for Guthrie and Altus, they hope they're unusually different with 3 games today.
All right, so the last pitch is coming up as they go to second base, and we're ready for action. We're going to let you, since you know the Guthrie players, you can give us a little more history of who's at bat and what you've seen from them. But Clymer is going to be the first at bat for the Guthrie Blue Jays.
Yeah, Willie Clymer, today's starting pitcher. He's the everyday left fielder when he has not a true pitcher, but he has to be a true pitcher today. But Willie has been a 3-year starter out in the outfield and has been the leadoff guy the last couple of seasons for the Blue Jays.
So the wind up the pitch and comes in for a strike inside corner, and 1-0. We'll get your take about why it was a 1-0 game between these two. Altus is on a 10-game winning streak, and then double as he takes one right down the middle.
Yeah, there was not a lot of hits, only 1 run the entire ballgame. I think both teams, Altus had 4 hits, Guthrie had 2 hits, and there's a line,
goes right through the gap, and he's going to be able to stand up and get a single, and that's how you kind of teach it. If you can get the lead off.
Yeah, no doubt. And if you're Guthrie, you didn't score a run yesterday in this ball game. So if you can get a run in the first inning, whether it's sacrifice bunting or any way of manufacturing a run, definitely want to do that here. As Kel Evans steps into the right-handed batter's box, first pitch swinging. This one's into the outfield, and they got a good one out there in
tag
center field.
Up there, a little bit of a wind, but is able to get the first out, and I guess you're going to have to console him a little bit later on.
Yeah, he's definitely hitting the ball up in the air here the last few weeks, but hopefully regroup. But Carson Wilder now to the plate. Eric, he's the 3-year starter, Blue Jay catcher, and has had a really good solid year. He's the halfback on the football team, so he's tough because he's in there to block every play. And they have to throw him the ball every now and then to keep him happy, but good kid, smart kid, plays hard. Leads the team in hits. I think he's been hit like 14 times this year.
Wow. So he really stays in.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss. So it brings a 1-1 count with 1 out here in the first. Leadoff gets on base. And the runner goes a little bit high, and that's going to go away, but he's going to stay at home. I thought he was going to go, and no flag to send him, so we're going to basically have a hold-up at second.
Yeah, well, he's got good speed, and, Guthrie has left a lot of guys on base throughout the entire season. Left some guys on base yesterday, obviously being shut out, so Willie probably being a little extra cautious knowing that.
There's a little chopper that kind of hit the bat. They're going to be able to go, and that's going to stretch out, and that's going to be safe.
Shortstop did a good job coming in on that ball. It was going to be a tough play no matter what, and made a good throw over there to make it even close. Carson runs pretty good down the line and just outruns that one. Now we'll have a courtesy runner with Hayden Calvert at first base. The Blue Jay 3-year starter. His first start came against Lawton MacArthur in the playoffs a couple of years ago. Started every game as a sophomore, then just finished his junior year. So he's a courtesy runner over at first base as Zach Henry, the shortstop, steps into the right-handed batter's box. Zach also a football player. A lot of these.
I love those multiple athletes, you know, yeah.
Zach
the delivery is outside, so.
Zach's having a fantastic season. He's made the move from third base to shortstop in the cleanup spot. He's the ace, and not pitching this game, but he's been the ace throughout the year.
Ooh, the delivery, and there's a hit, and that was right on the side cage, and boy, that's going to load the bases with only one out. And what a way to start for the Guthrie Blue Jays with the Altus.
That's exactly.
Dogs find themselves in a hole.
Told you earlier, Eric, Guthrie, no problem getting runners on base throughout the year. It's just getting them on to come home against good teams, and Altus is definitely a good team. And Altus, we got to see, saw Altus play in the Duncan tournament, saw them play yesterday, and nothing flashy, but they're very good at what they do, and they got a good ball club over there.
That's low and on the dirt, hold up.
This 1-0. This is Luke Hubbard. He's been the number 1 or number 2 pitcher for this ball club. He's playing first base today. He's a junior.
Delivery is outside, so kind of chasing the plate here. Both sides after, you know, when you hit a batter, you wonder what that does for the psyche for the pitcher. You know, it's like, got to settle down. You know, there's a lot to play for. Your season's on the line. We get that. Right down the middle for a called strike. 2-1, and now we've got a play at the plate, overthrow, and there is a run scored. Advances, second and third, and Guthrie Blue Jays strike with an error. And they get a 1-0 start here in the first.
Yeah, that's going to be a frustrating for the Altus coaches. Didn't get a hit, didn't make anyone make a play. It was just a throwback to the pitcher that went away to score Willie.
But, you know, heads up that, you know, all players were ready.
Yeah.
Coach was ready to send him home, and the high throwback to home plate wasn't enough. 2 balls and 1 strike, delivery, and that snack foul. Don't forget, we also have up on the action for you going back and forth in baseball. We have Carl, Albert, and Duncan. We'll keep you up to date on that score for that final, and that is going to be for the final because both have got their loss and double elimination tournament.
What a regional that is, Eric. Of course, they're both OSN schools, but you got the Carl Albertines who don't win a state championship would be earth-breaking because they win it every year. Then you have the defending state champions in there.
Yes.
So what a regional that is.
So all eyes on that. Back with a 2-2 count. 1 out. Trying to get out of the damage that's done outside. Man on second and third. And starting to get some sun. It was really cloudy and overcast all morning long.
Atmosphere's heating up. I think that's going to feed some storms.
Yeah, and there's a nice hit right in the gap. That's going to score 1. We'll hold up at third base. And so Guthrie, after a 1-0 game where both teams were defensively accurate in the previous game, that it took a long time for even to get a run, now Guthrie decides to come out big.
Yeah, Guthrie 2 hits yesterday. One of those hits coming from Luke Hubbard, and he delivers an RBI single here. And this is, you know, if you're a Guthrie fan, this is exactly what you wanted to not only score, but score early and start putting some scoreboard pressure on in an elimination game.
Squared to bunt, and we're going to advance the runner from first to second. So the steal is good. We want to load those up and advance as much as possible. Trying to work out of a jam here. Trying to get that next out. You only just work on this batter. Chopped away. Then goes foul.
Yeah, a thing to watch today, Eric, is the pitching. Of course, Guthrie and Altus worry about offense, but pitching will be interesting for all 3 teams today. Altus threw their ace against Guthrie yesterday. They also pitched against them in the Duncan tournament as well. Then again, Elgin, they had to throw their number 2, so I would assume this is their number 3 today. where Elgin threw their number 1. I'm sure their number 2 is going to be pitching next game. Guthrie hasn't thrown their number 1 yet, hasn't thrown their number 2. Today's their number 3. Wow. So if you're going to win 3 games, it's good to have 1, 2, 3 going.
I get you. The strategy, and that's what I was going to say earlier, is that, a smack right there. It's going to go to the shortstop coming home, and it's going to be an errant throw, and that's going to be another run scored for the Guthrie Blue Jays. So just like that, all coming together for Guthrie, and Altus still trying to work out of a jam early.
You know, Eric, the thing about baseball, everyone loves batting averages and home runs, but the one that I really like is the on-base percentage, because you just put the ball in play and make the defense make a play, and if you don't get hit, make the defense make a play. And so strikeouts are huge in Major League Baseball, but in high school baseball, if you can put the ball in play, things like that can happen.
I think also, too, is, for the pitcher, and I know that you're a high school, nice swing at that. It's going to go foul, but you just worry about this batter. At this point, you had a bad day, a bad start. It's 3-0. Just get out of this. Just work on this guy right here to try to get your out.
Yeah, Eli Plagg at the plate for Guthrie. He's earned these at-bats here in regionals. He really didn't get a whole lot of playing time early in the season, but has come in a pitch-hitting role throughout the year and has delivered some big hits, and today he's in the starting lineup.
So 1-1 is ball outside. Pitch, and that's chopped foul, and in strike 2.
So we've talked about Elgin a little bit. We talked about Altus a little bit, Guthrie a little bit as well. These umpires, they worked 4 games yesterday. And here they are back maybe with 1 or with 2, maybe 3 games today.
Well, and I know we talked about the weather moving this from what would have been a Thursday, Friday, Saturday matchup to, Saturday, Sunday. And hats off to our umpires, our officials. I mean, they get it done. And, and that's a good plug for us to say that they have a shortage of officials. And if you're ever thinking about helping with officiating, it would really be appreciated. You can contact the OSSAA for any information. And reached out there with a strike, and 1 goes down. Finally, with a strikeout for the Altus Bulldogs to finally get that 2 if you can just get out. Damage has been done already in the top of the first, with a 3-0 start for the Guthrie Blue Jays.
Guthrie senior heavy, Eric, but they do play a couple of freshmen. This is one of the freshmen here. This is Jace Rainwater. He's the second baseman, and will have a chance to play at the shortstop spot next year, but has really come on late in the year, as you would expect for a freshman, hitting the baseball well.
Got a runner at second. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. The delivery. Hit that outside corner just on the edge, trying to get where these are called, and it's a 1-1.
8th batter to come to the plate for the Jays this inning.
That's really good when you get number 8 number 8 batting in the first inning, and so Altus just trying to get out of the jam here. The wind starts to pick up a little bit too, and there was, it was really kind of soupy, and wind feels kind of cool, but that's going to play a little bit. That fits. Foul, tipped. 2-2.
Yeah, I guess the weather forecast is the storms in Texas about now and the next couple hours start brewing, and before making their way here, and it was a bullseye. It was a bullseye yesterday. We were leaving town.
Yes, I know. It was straight across Lawton, and it was traveling like, I think, 45 miles an hour when they were tracking it. It was gusts up there, but it was here and gone, and that's April weather for Oklahoma. The delivery, smack foul right in the gap. That's going to score. Coming home with the play. Got him.
Great play by the left fielder, and I don't mind the coach sending him because it has to be a perfect throw and a perfect catch, and that's exactly what it was.
Well, they got the 3rd out to the Altus Blue Jays. Stop the bleeding after 3-0. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
All right, welcome back. Wichita Insurance is going to be your title sponsor. And for a first inning start for the Guthrie Blue Jays, you couldn't ask for anything better. Scoring 3 runs, batting 8 batters, sending the last one home and getting the out. And we go to the bottom of the second, where the Altus Bulldogs will have an opportunity to try to answer, as what they typically say in any sport, you answer points with points.
Yep, and obviously you would love to put a 3 spot, 4 spot, 5 spot, but you can't, force the issue. If you get one here, just, have a creative inning trying to let Guthrie know that you're here as well.
So Colton Gillespie at the plate for the Altus Bulldogs. For those who are watching on the Altus channel, appreciate you tuning in for a great Sunday afternoon baseball here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I was born and raised in Guthrie, but I love the good folks in Altus, Eric. We've had some, the only time we've had to go there and do a broadcast as a first pitch from Clymer was back in the 2014 season when the Bulldogs won the state championship with Ben Way, and I hear Ben Way is on the coaching staff now.
Yes, he is. So. He goes back there, and giving back to, he went over to MacArthur for a little bit.
Assistant coach, now the head coach. He was at Pauls Valley. Now is he at Duncan? He's at Duncan now.
Yes.
Yes. His name's drawing a blank on me. So I watch Altus from afar. Obviously being 5A1 football, Guthrie.
Yeah, you're
5A2,
on that other side.
Cross matches there.
Yeah.
So.
Only see it only during playoff time, and you were able to see that with your football team coming to Elgin, with Elgin finishing second. Coming up from 5A, what an impressive start for their football program, and Elgin really is making a statement in all their sports. I mean, and track and field and wrestling and now here in baseball too, and we'll see Elgin in the second part of these matchups here.
Yeah, Elgin is unique. I mean, the town is less than 5,000, but the school district is fairly large, and that's how they made that move up to 5A. But not only making the move up to 5A, but making a splash and making
well, and people wondered what was going to happen with Midwest City going from 6A down to 5A in that district. What was going to happen? You had your typical MacArthur, Ardmore, Duncan was always on the bubble. It's like, where was Elgin going to find themselves? And fighting for the district. A little hit right there, straight for an easy out. Comes right to second base.
Yeah, that's Rainwater, the freshman, and he's been there for a good part of the season, a super majority of the season, and he'll be probably the leading candidate for next year's shortstop spot.
That's another thing too, that when we're saying freshmen, and even in college, I mean, these kids are almost ready to play. I mean, it's like before. I don't know how old you are, but freshmen hardly ever saw any action. It's just it wasn't seen. You had juniors and seniors that really played those roles. You had maybe an exceptional sophomore, but those days are over. I mean, if you got the athleticism and they start younger and they just really in tune. There's a delivery right there, right through the gap. That's going to get a man on base for the Altus Bulldogs for the first time, right where you want to position it in the open gap. And there's going to finally have one on the bag with 2 outs.
He's a good player. He covers a lot of ground out in center field, and then he sees a hit up the middle, and he's dangerous on the base path. He is a great asset for this Altus ball club.
There's a chopper. It's going to hit right to third. And they're going to get the easy tag at second, and that's going to end after one full inning. It's 3-0 as Altus strands. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
Well, the sun has come out. Sunday afternoon baseball live in Elgin, which we call maybe the semifinals, because the winner here gets the great privilege of taking on the Elgin Owls right after the conclusion of this ball game. And if they are able to defeat Elgin, it would make because Elgin does not have a loss, give them an opportunity. Both these teams, as we said earlier, Altus defeated Guthrie 1-0 in the early get-go. Took a long time for either team to score, and that one gets away from them with a ball.
Yeah, I think Altus got that one run in the 6th inning, so 5 scoreless innings. Altus got the one and only run. They had a triple and then a single, as the infield had to come in and try to knock the run down at the plate. It went past the shortstop Henry, and that was the only run. Hour 40 yesterday. If you love pitching, it was a great high school game to watch.
A delivery and another chopper. It's going to hit right over and get the out.
That's Jackson Walters. He's another senior. About 6 seniors in the starting lineup today. I think they have 8 total, and they played 3 or 4 freshmen this year as well. But senior-heavy team. And this is a senior team that, as sophomores, went to Lawton MacArthur and won that regional and made it state. So a lot of these players do have gone on the road to win a regional championship and been in a state tournament. And they're going to try to use that experience here today.
I'm going to go back and entertain the strategy of pitchers. You know, you're talking about rotation. And it was told to me that after Carl Albert and Duncan played, and they're playing right now in the Oklahoma Sports Network, that for some reason Duncan decided to have their ace in case they lost that first game, and then they evened it up. Yep. So they played the long strategy of, well, let's just, if you're going to try to force another game, that's what you're going to do. There's a chop foul.
It's kind of the strategy Guthrie's taken on as well. Carl Albert went with the other way, and
yes,
who's right or wrong. He
jump out and get that start. Yeah.
Cash Ferris, a tremendous standout. He's going to likely be with Oklahoma State unless a Major League Baseball team takes him before going to Stillwater.
2 balls, 1 strike. That's going to be popped up right enough for a shortstop. No, we're going to call it off, and second baseman calls that off for the out to bring it 2 outs. So Altus really kind of settling down after giving up those 3 runs in inning number 1.
Eric, I've been around a lot of Blue Jays, but this has been my favorite Blue Jay so far through the years.
Since how long? Since Crib, yeah. If you don't know, Mr. Evans calling the game with me, his son right there taking a pitch inside.
Hard to believe that he's a senior. You always hear it goes by fast. But
I know.
Super fast.
Pipped out. What is his plans?
Well, he's going to entertain some baseball offers, see how that goes. He loves automotives, so he's going to be he might be fixing on my vehicle one day. That'll save me a couple dollars.
There you go.
Mechanic shop. But
3 balls. We're going to let him pitch to him, and right down the middle. And so you knew that was coming. I'm not going to let you walk on that one. So that was right, and he said maybe that was the time to swing. But 3-1 with 2 outs. The delivery, and that gets a walk. So we'll put him on first with 2 outs. Altus, we're going to try to get out from that 3-0 deficit out of the first start.
Eric, I don't have to tell you, this is a busy, busy time with track, golf, tennis, baseball, soccer. Yes.
We did our first track in a long time at the Carl Albert Invitational. There's a smack. Oh, and then right in the glove of the third baseman, and he's going to overthrow. That's going to be stretched out, and that is going to be
nice play.
An out. Boy, what a great opportunity. We'll get to see that in instant replay.
Yeah, he did a good job of extending out, diving the body, and then got up and made a good throw. Carson, I mentioned earlier, gets down the line well and still able to make a strong throw. Nice play.
All right, so that's gets us to the bottom of the second. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
All right, welcome back to Elgin. Elgin, Oklahoma, site of the Western Regional. And I want to thank you for tuning in. Wichita Insurance, our title sponsor for Altus Bulldog Baseball.
Second time to ever be in Elgin. First time was for football. Second time, well, I guess it's third time. I was here yesterday. But
well, and you know, if you have any past history of Elgin, how it's grown, and this is the last year for this facility. They're building a new baseball facility, and they'll be ready for next year. But
everything's new in here in Elgin. Yeah. Great facilities.
Well, it's really been top notch. And you know, I think when I guess that was the other question that the taxpayers have to answer when you do these bond issues. That when you go up into the 5A ranks, you want to make impression that we're going to all these 5A schools, and you don't want to be a 2A or 3A facility, hosting 5A events. And they knew that. And hats off a great superintendent with Nate Merez, and then Laura is the head principal, and they've really done a lot of great things for Elgin.
Okay, I got to have a good visit yesterday with Laura, the principal.
Yeah.
And, talked to him about 15 minutes about Elgin. I think with Elgin up in 5A, it's time to start to introduce ourselves to Elgin a little bit more as they make their way up here. But, Piedmont went through a stage when they came up to 5A. They had facilities that were not to that level. Now they're starting to get there.
Yeah, well, and now there's talk that they're going to go to 6A. So that delivery inside for a strike. Yeah, Piedmont's grown enough where they may be, it's like we always talk about Deer Creek, when they were early on in that 3A, 4A, and they're getting so big. They say, be careful with what you wish for. There's chopped foul.
Well, I can tell you this. There's going to be a lot of people in 5A that will not be shedding any tears if Piedmont makes that move to 6A.
Well, I understand that. That brings some new blood there in your district.
Yeah, they're the largest school in 5A.
Yeah, so they're right on that bubble, and they're already thinking that, you just can't control the other pitch that gets away.
But they got a beautiful brand new facility, basketball, baseball, softball. They're going to be working on football soon. So the stadiums and all that stuff is officially there now in Piedmont. But it took them a while, and just like Elgin, they're a little bit more advanced than Piedmont, so they'll be okay.
Clymer's delivery in the dirt. That's going to make it 2-2. Now, we're going to speak to a baseball audience, and I don't know how much you watch in the pros, but what do you think about the shot clock? The pitch clock, the 25-second clock.
Yeah, I'm kind of a baseball traditionalist.
Traditionalist, okay.
So but I understand there's a ground ball to Henry, up with it, nice little toss.
Oh, and he drops that.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So an error gets an Altus Bulldog on base when it was really clearly just an easy out. Just kind of took his eye off the glove for a second and makes the man advance. No outs, man on first. Altus trying to get in a little bit of rhythm after being down 3-0.
The pitch clock, the thing that really gets me going is all the pitch changes.
Yeah.
Lefty versus lefty, get it out. Righty versus righty, take him out. But so I think they have where you have to pitch at least to 3 batters now, so that's better. But I wouldn't mind a quicker game, but
I guess it shaves about 20, 25 minutes off a regular game, I guess they say.
And that's probably a good thing.
Brody Rogers chips away at that one, fouls back into the net. 1-1, no outs, man on first.
I guess I like it as long as I'm not a pitcher or an umpire having to work on.
Well, and I know that there's clocks on both sides so they can see it, but the thing is, what I was just going to say, and I will not jinx it. High school, it's up and down. I mean, it's a lot faster. There's not a lot of the drama of kicking the dirt off the cleats, and the wine. It's more of a fast-paced delivery.
Yeah, in high school baseball, you're supposed to keep 1 foot in the batter's box where you don't have to go out, readjust your batting gloves, hit the dirt off your cleats, as you mentioned. Right. So you're supposed to keep 1 foot in the box to and that's a speed-up suggested rule.
That's chopped away, and that's going to go out right there to center field for the out.
Walter's a 3-year starter out in center field. He's also a football player, defensive end. He's a senior this year, and he's done a good job.
I think I'm going to start asking you, who is not on the football team that's playing baseball for Guthrie right now? Because everybody we've mentioned, hey, he's linebacker, and that's great. Just
first baseman, third baseman are not football players. Everyone else, Friday Night Lights.
Garrett Gribble inside the box for the Altus Blue Jays, or for the Altus Bulldogs.
And that's the thing with 5A athletics, Eric. And, if you're good in football, odds are you're going to be good in basketball, you're going to be in baseball because it's the same athlete.
That's true. And then if you were able to get there's right down the pike, gets him to look that one straight down the middle for a strike, called strike, 1-1 with 1 out.
Obviously, the further you go down in classes, even more so.
Runner goes, going to try to advance to steal, and that's going to be a throw, and that's going to be a stolen base. So
Carson was
it's
able. It's
really kind of hard to get that connection from home plate to second.
Yeah, Carson threw a couple guys out yesterday, but good base running, good jump over at first base, and good wheels as well for the big guy.
So Altus has advanced their runner to second, and that's what they're kind of needing if they want to try to chip away at that 3-0 lead, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike here in the bottom of the second.
Hardest run in baseball is the first run.
Yeah. Stares that one down, and that's going to be outside for a ball, and we're going to get a man on first and second. It's going to bring up Trent Carmen to the plate for the Altus Bulldogs.
Pitcher versus pitcher.
Kind of know what's coming then, or at least you guess what's coming. That's low, and that's it for a strike.
Yeah, it's amazing. I played baseball, and how people can hit the way they do for good averages. It's so hard.
Well, I mean, look at what you'd say. If you're betting 500, that's 50% of the time, and that's impossible. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you're getting a 380 or 3, that's good. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you mean so 7 times I go up to the plate and it doesn't really work out of my 10 times, but yeah. That's how hard it is. And I've never done it, but I've never stared down a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
I couldn't even imagine. I've seen it, back in my former life. I was an umpire, but that's as close as I couldn't imagine trying to hit that thing.
Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here on a sunny afternoon, and that's a strike, called strike right down the middle. And got him looking, and that's going to walk to the sad trail to the dugout with your head kind of down with 2 outs.
Yeah, if you hit 400 or more in high school baseball, you are a great hitter. If you hit over 500, you are phenomenal. And we've seen some holidays go through 500. They are out there in high school baseball, but not very much. If you hit over 400, that is a tremendous season.
So that hits out the outside, 1-0. Man on first and second, 2 outs. Altus trying to get into scoring position. The windup. And that's called a strike on the inside corner. 1-1. Make you pitch to him. And there's a connection right in the gap, and that is going to hold up, and there is going to be an overthrow at first. That's going to score 1 for Altus. Advances runners to second and third, and the Altus Bulldogs finally get something to applaud and get their fans up and cheering. Altus Bulldogs, by the way, on a 10-game winning streak with their last win over Guthrie with a 1-0. We got a little bit of discussion with
mentioned it earlier, Eric, that obviously you want to put the ball in play and hit it, but the main thing is put the ball in play for a thing like that. I think even if he does field the ball over at first base, and he's got to knock that ball down, he can't let that get by because it costs him a run. But I think it's going to be an infield hit even on that play because it was going to take a strong throw, and he ran well down the line.
So, man, it's second and third with 2 outs. Altus trying to You say the first run was the hardest. They got that one in.
Yep. Now they're just a hit away from possibly tying it up.
That's the way baseball can go. Wind is really kind of a steady wind as we are right in the face, and that's going to be outside.
You mentioned that 10-game winning. Yeah, you mentioned that 10-game winning streak. It's all about playing your best baseball at the right time.
Yeah, I know
this is the right time.
It is. I mean, you're playing your best at the best. And I know that I was talking to one of your fans from Guthrie, and they said that you beat Duncan early on. And they said we've done that before. We start off with our bats early on in the season, and then and that's how this goes. And so
yeah.
You kind of like if you could choose to determine it, you want him at the end right there where it counts.
Yeah, when you play 30 games, and especially in high school baseball, there's going to be peaks on any level of baseball. There's going to be peaks and valleys.
The delivery, and that's a nice smack follow. And what a diving catch there.
That wind held that ball up.
That held it up. You're right.
Yeah.
What a great opportunity, and we'll get to see that here on instant replay with what a great snag that was. I thought that was going to go right over.
Yeah, Henry goes back to go.
Connects that and
go back on the ball. But
then, that wind, oh, man, it's just what happens with the wind, right?
Yep.
All right, so Guthrie stops it with just a 1-run inning. And we'll be back to start the third right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
All right, welcome back to Elgin, host as they won their district. And they are awaiting the winner of this game between the Altus Bulldogs and the Guthrie Blue Jays. Chris Evans, along with myself, Eric Sherem, going to be with you for the rest of the way here. And the third.
Guthrie have 4, 5, 6 part of their lineup coming to the plate here in the home half of the third. Or excuse me, I think we're on the top of the fourth. Scoreboard does not have a 0 on the bottom of the third, so top of the fourth. Zach Henry, Blue Jays shortstop. I would think if Guthrie can get past Altus, and there's plenty of baseball left, that Zach would be on the mound in that next game. But you don't even start thinking about it.
You got to get past this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and both teams know this. Season's on the line.
Yeah.
This is where it counts. This is. In baseball, it's real special. They only have eight districts, and they take the top winner of all those regions, and then it's a bam, bam, bam. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, crown your champion, and you got to be on your game and your ace. And unfortunately for this side of the state, where you had to wait, other teams are resting this Sunday to get ready for Thursday. I mean, it's just the way it is. So.
Yeah, this was the only regional not playing games on Friday.
Yeah, and it was sunny on Friday, but I think because of the field, they had to get it ready. I mean, because it was soaked enough, they just decided not to. They could have played Friday, but it's.
I thought so too. I saw pictures of this. By the way, great surface. The surface, the grass, the dirt. They've done a tremendous job here at Elgin. The outside facilities. They're working on that with the new complex that you mentioned earlier. But as far as playing surface, this is big time. The coaching staff has done a good job here with the grass and dirt.
Full count. And makes him walk. So we'll put a man on first with no outs.
That'll bring Hubbard to the plate. Hubbard, again, a base hit yesterday, an RBI base in his last at-bat. So Luke Hubbard, probably the best, probably the guy you want at the plate right now going against these Altus Bulldogs.
Carmen waits for the batter in the box.
Altus thinking maybe bunt. Third baseman's in on a few steps on the grass.
So a little throw to first, keeping him honest, a little bit of a lead So top of the third with a 3-1 score, and it's out.
Think Levi's checking this out today?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I got to visit with him yesterday.
Yeah, and Levi was, when we talk about commitments of who can call sports, and I said, I said, what are we going to do for Sunday? And I said, it's going to make me solo. That's why I was so glad that you came and was able to be willing to put a headset on, because I know Jordan Ray, who's calling the game by himself, the Carl Albert Duncan game. And then, by the way, I got to go check on that and find out what the latest score is on that. Delivery there, chopped foul, and I'll.
Levi, one of those guys, I follow Altus in all sports, and Levi's one of those faces you see football, basketball, baseball season.
So Duncan leads Carl Albert 6-3, top of the third.
Wow.
So Duncan shows that they are defending state champions for a reason, and they're not going to go away after being down 1. There's a hit, and that's going to fall inside, and no, it's picked up right after the one hop. Throw away to first. Catcher has to come back and get that before the cage.
Well, we saw Guthrie benefit with the win to end last inning. We see benefit the Altus right fielder, because that's probably a double on most days.
Yeah,
and you go diving for it, then it's all the way to the wall. It might be an RBI triple.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why. And you can see that officials' pants out there in between first and second now. It's like a flag whipping in the wind. It shows you kind of a steady. After our little rainstorm and cloudy situation, sun's come out right there. Almost, it's going to be fair. No, it's going to call that. It was looked right down the line, right up into the bag, and then it went out, sailed a little bit. And I think that's a little bit of a win factor, because that's exactly how it's tossing that.
Well, the umpire got it right, because the third base coach for Guthrie didn't put up an argument. So
I guess that's how we decide whether it was really called right or not, right?
Exactly.
Is how vocal the argument would be.
Exactly. I'm going to give credit to that right fielder out there. That was a tough ball to come
Yes,
off.
It was.
That was a great play by
Chop
him.
there with a swing at that to make it 2.
With the win today, there's no routine plays.
1 away and 2 strikes. Was representing both teams. Altus really, Guthrie both having to make a travel over here, and I know there was some talk to whether or not Altus has a artificial turf, and they said, well, you could come and use that, you can still host, and there was talk about that, or even going to Southeast, and between all the coaches, then they decided what we had is that little throwback to first.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I think that if they couldn't play here, I think the fairest thing they could have probably done was play at Southeast, because it's actually a shorter drive from Elgin to Southeast. Now, It is a further drive for folks in Altus.
Altus, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's
but
like
Elgin, they're the 1 seed, so you got to give them a little bit of a bigger say. Then Guthrie's the 2 seed, so you got to give them a little bit of a say.
You do what you can now. This is going to be bad remembrances for me, but I remember it was this pitch back. It was a Guthrie MacArthur State Finals that was moved to an early morning start, and they had that in Stillwater.
Yes, 11 a.m.
For Guthrie to Stillwater was not as much of a travel in the morning. It was like an evening game. So, it can make a difference. And that was a cold day.
2011.
2011 state championship. Yeah, Guthrie against MacArthur, and Guthrie prevailed.
Was that Darius Graham back in the day?
Darius Graham, yeah. And, boy, your memory serves better than mine. That's pretty good.
They were good. They were good.
Chastain was the quarterback then.
Yep.
Taylor Chastain.
Coach Manning was offensive coordinator at that time.
Yeah. Manning to Manning. And then they changed the baton, and then finally MacArthur was able to finally get that state title. It's going to be sailed out. And the wind's going to be able to carry that out.
Wind's going to carry us out, Eric.
It is. I mean, thanks to Brian, who helped us out with I had some higher anchors for the tent that were under, and I said tents really shouldn't be made in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma winds will tear tents apart. I think it's the goal of Mother Nature, and the anchors they give you, they're like little small pin sets. So I went and got from what our bigger one is, anchoring it down, so hopefully it won't move away on us, but shields us from a little bit of the sun.
My kid plays in a lot of summer tournaments. Ball fouled off on the right side. Plays in a lot of tournaments. So if you go to these Little League fields, you see all the great inventions.
Oh, yeah, the one that they're like chair shells that have everything in it, yeah.
In fact, we brought our tent just in case, and we have straps, we have bungees, we have sandbags. I mean, we're ready for any element.
It needs it, yeah. Well, when you're trying to do a broadcast, and this equipment don't like the sun when you got computers and cameras, and, as you well know. How long have you been with the Guthrie Sports News, the whole endeavor there?
I started Guthrie Sports Page in 2007 and merged it to Guthrie News Page in 2011. But been doing Guthrie Athletics on the radio. Last year was our first year not to be on the radio, but 1999 was my first year.
Yeah, I knew it's been a while.
Yeah.
Setting a standard of kind of what you do for Guthrie. Full count, 1 out, chopped away.
Good at bat
and
here.
we'll get another chance.
Good at bat here by Josh DeMint, another Blue Jay football player. He's a senior as well. I had to get that in there real quick, Eric. But he's had a tremendous season. I forget the name of the school, but it's a Division III school up in Illinois that Josh plans to attend this fall.
Okay.
His sister, Mercy DeMint, a all-state cross-country runner for Guthrie. She's now running collegiately.
Pitch, and there was a swing. The full count strike and went down.
Good at that, but good job by the Altus right-hander to stay with it and challenge DeMint with the fastball on the 3-2 and got the strikeout. Here's Eli Plagg, designated hitter today. Mentioned earlier, working his way into the lineup. Really didn't get much varsity action early in the year, but has earned this spot offensively.
It's right outside that zone. Two outs. Runner goes. Throw to second, and it's going to be, dropped. And so that's going to be a safe stolen base. Trying to advance.
Guthrie this year led by first-year head coach Terry Bennett Jr. That is my classmate, my teammate, one of my good buddies. So we've been friends since grade school. And he's been a long-time assistant football coach. He was also a long-time assistant baseball coach, was a pitching coach for a few years, but got the head job late this summer and got 20-plus wins in year number 1.
High and away, 2-1 with 2 out. The delivery. Foul tip. That evens the count, 2-2.
Another thing about Altus, growing up in Guthrie, one thing about Altus, it's always the hottest part in the state on the weather map. It might be 82 in Guthrie, but it's 105 in Altus.
Well, yeah, it's right. And there's nothing to help it. I mean, there's just nothing. It's its own little desert oasis by itself, I wonder the Air Force decided to put an Air Force base there. It's hot and dry. And chopped. Fouled back into the net. Still 2-2 with 2 out.
Other thing I've learned a lot about Altus is, get to go to the state swim meet every year. They are extremely good in swimming.
Oh, yeah, that's one of their sports. And they have a lot of tradition there of winning. State Carl Albert, too, another great swim school. But Carl Albert, you can say, what are they not good at?
Right.
Going to have to find something that they're not so good at.
Well, Altus, not only good, I can tell they're a program because not only do they win a lot, but the crowds that they bring to the Edmond, Oklahoma City area every year for that swim meet is unbelievable.
Going to look back and, we got a rundown here between second and third. And we're going to tag him out. So he got caught sleeping. And that's going to retire the side. So now it's still that 3-1 score. Wichita Insurance, your title sponsor of this Altus broadcast. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
All right, back here in Elgin.
Are there a lot of
Got a
owls?
3-1.
Are there a lot of owls in Elgin?
Well, you know, that now you're putting me on the spot.
Okay.
I do not know where they got their mascot name from.
Okay.
I mean, well, is there a lot of Blue Jays in Guthrie?
I do see some Blue Jays. I do see them from time to time.
I saw we had them outside our house the other day, so I know they exist in Oklahoma, but you know how they get mascots' names, and you know, and then you get into the demon stuff. You know, the Walters Blue Devils, the Duncan Demons. You know, we started getting into the mascot queries of
England Blue Devils. Yeah, bottom of the third.
Yeah, bottom of the, that's what I thought. I didn't think we were in the
sorry.
fourth yet. That's
Sorry.
okay. I just want to, you know, we're just trying to keep people honest. I said, I thought it was a good memory. I said, man, I missed an inning without knowing it.
The scoreboard's been a little off on time to time, so I apologize.
No, that's okay. That's going to be swung and hit high. It's going to be out of play. And for those baseball watchers going back and forth, and well, see, that's what's so great when you download the app on Apple or Android devices. Just search the Oklahoma Sports Network, and when you do, all the games that are currently on will be up at one time. So it is now 6-6. It's a tie ball game, and I don't know if it's in the third. He may have not changed the inning. I doubt if they're still in the third. But with all that scoring there, we got a tie ball game. What would you expect in a showdown finals between the defending state title Duncan Demons against the Carl Albert Titans? You can catch that on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just can also catch it on Facebook Live, on YouTube, pretty much everywhere.
Duncan led 6-3. I had a feeling Carl Albert wasn't just going to give up and call it a game. So.
And there's a little bit of a chase. Get a little bit of a tip on that. Take strike two.
Schmidt at the plate for the Bulldogs, jersey number 5, batting on the left side. Not very many left-handed batters this entire weekend. Guthrie has one. Altus has one for sure as he chased that one.
Schmidt has another one, and that's going to go out of play.
More Cardinals than Blue Jays I see in Guthrie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Owls
especially
yet,
this time of year.
Yes.
I mean, it's that's a mating season. Those Red Cardinals are out. There's a hit right back to the pitcher. That's going to be an easy chase down and an out. That's probably the easy play for a pitcher to make. If you can try to just kind of ease your way over and get that.
I think this is the most exciting player in the Altus lineup. I love when Dean comes up. I mentioned he can cover a lot of ground. Just put the ball in play, and he can. The way he gets down the first base line puts a lot of pressure on the defense as he checks his swing, and home plate umpire does not need any help down the first base side, calls a strike. But Dean is so dangerous. Even a routine ground ball that all the infielders know they have to field it cleanly and have to get rid of it quickly just to get Dean out because of his speed.
Delivery outside low. 1-1
and you
with one out.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to walk him because that usually turns into a double when he steals.
Yeah, I know it's. Well, and as a pitcher, you don't really start thinking about stuff like that. You overthink about all those possibilities. Just next pitch.
Yep.
Comes with a delivery high and away. 2-1 with one out. Elgin will face the winner of this contest here.
They're in air conditioning somewhere.
Yeah, and the loser just going to wrap up the season. And, it's even you say all the games that they play and the tournaments they get into, it's so fast. The spring sports, I guess really if you're a sports fan, sports in general goes fast. I mean, you can say graduation's right around the corner already. And you say, where did the time go? It's delivery. That's high called for. Second baseman calls everyone away and was able to get that one with the win.
Yeah, Rainwater took off toward the outfield and had to make his way back to the infield to make that play. That's all because of that win. Yeah, it does. You know, baseball and a lot of these spring sports start in March, and the weather's still somewhat cool. So you battle that, and then April gets here, and it gets a little bit warmer. By the time you get that, then you got playoffs, and you got senior night, graduation.
Brings up Hunter Myers, and he gets that one chased.
Prom, all that type of stuff.
I know.
So it's a sprint at the end, that's for sure.
Well, and you having a son that's a senior, boy, this is a fun time, and you got to, wrap things up and have all the things that go with senior graduation. Oh, he chased that one outside, but took the swing and got 2 on the mark. 0-2 with 2 outs.
Well, you got spring football popping up here.
Oh, I know. College already starts it, and high school is right not far behind. We'll get a little chase of who's going to be what. And high school is so fun in that way because it's just that goes into the dirt. But, these players coming in and out, they graduate and then, it's like who's next. And, you get all those players that.
Yeah, we're getting to that weird time with high school sports of who's transferring, who's moving in, that type deal.
Right.
And, last year up in the Tulsa area, it was kind of all over the place there for a month or so. So that's kind of a new little aspect on it as well.
Yeah. Looking for a swing and a high mark, even the count at 2-2. Bottom of the third, 2 outs, no men on. And that is going to go outside the line. Guthrie Blue Jays started off with a 3-0 first inning to start, and both teams kind of settled down. Altus snuck one in to make it 3-1. What you'd expect in a game like this is both teams kind of evenly matched with talent. Altus on their 10-game winning streak. And that got him looking in the inside corner for a strike and a slow walk back to the clubhouse, as you'll see this last pitch delivery. All right there. So we will be back to start the 4th inning here live in Elgin. We'll be back right after this. You're watching OSN Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs. We make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Whether you order online or on our app, Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go will have your subs boxed, bagged, and ready for pickup. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
Now we got a pitching change for the Altus Bulldogs. So
is that Rodriguez?
And we're going to bring in Alvin Rodriguez to pitch.
That's another thing that has come important over baseball over the last several years is pitch count. You can only throw so many pitches in a day.
Yes, that's right.
And you have to rest. And Altus playing 2 games yesterday, and so
chopped foul, and the catcher is going to go back, and that's going to hit into no man's land.
In fact, I don't know if you saw it circulating through the news. A Tennessee high school player, committed to Vanderbilt. Had 16 strikeouts in a state championship game. In Tennessee, the max you can throw is 120 pitches. He threw 121.
Oh, my.
And his own team called it in.
Oh, wow. Well, heads up for that. I mean, how many? That's character. You hear about that in golf where a guy will say, "Hey, no one else caught it, but I did, and I got to live with it." And so, that's.
I don't want to be put in that situation to find out what I would
tempted?
do.
Yeah, what I would. Wow, this is what I would do. And you're saying it on this side of it, yeah.
Yeah.
2-2, no outs.
Eli Plagg at the plate. Remember, he was at the plate when Henry got caught in the rundown in the third.
That's a smacked over the second baseman for a base hit. And to get the Guthrie Blue Jays on base.
Plagg, I mentioned earlier a couple times, not in the lineup to even begin this season, but has made his way into the lineup by doing things exactly like that.
Well, it's.
Yes, he does play football.
That's the second aspect of it, huh?
Here's the freshman Rainwater. So be interesting here if you're Terry Bennett Jr. and the Blue Jays. You haven't scored since the first. Here now in the fourth, you put down a sac bunt, although Rainwater's been hitting the ball well.
Calls for it and the strike.
Third baseman Carmen in on the grass, so he won't be surprised if there is a bunt down. So looks like the pitcher more than likely would have the bunt if it's on the first base side. But doesn't look like
high and away.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Rainwater's gonna be bunting here anyway. So
no, he didn't square around at all.
Gillespie and Gribble and double play depth up the middle.
1-1. And a delivery right down the middle. Brings it 2.
Yeah, Rainwater wasn't expecting that pitch. And that was a good strike to get ahead in the count.
Elgin Baseball Field hosting this Western Regional. Along with a great one. There's a strike right in. Down he goes. One away.
9th spot in the lineup is Jackson Walters, and he was a leadoff hitter for a couple of years. They moved him down to the 9th spot. He sees a little bit more favorable pitching down there. So, although batting the 9th spot, he's had a good career at the top of the lineup. Known for his defensive ability out in center field.
A little high, a little chin music there. 2 balls. No strikes, 1 out. Man on first. That wind is really kind of a steady one. After the clouds, it was cloudy and it wasn't really as warm, and then the sun started to break out, and then that wind started to get up, and that's really what kind of brews soupy weather into potential storms, and we'll have to keep an eye on the sky. About they said and walk this one, so it's going to make a man on first and second with only 1 out.
Yeah, the wind's a nuisance for the players, but a nuisance for us, a nuisance for the fans.
Oh, sure.
The tents.
Well, it's Oklahoma. Yeah,
kind of get used to it.
What else do you expect? Get some nice weather when you can. A little chant coming from the Blue Jay dugout.
Looks like we're going to have a
pitch runner.
Yeah, Jalen Carpenter is going to come in and run for Plagg. Now, of course, in high school baseball, you do have the re-entry rule, so Plagg could come back and hit again. But if Plagg does come and hit again, that Carpenter would be done for the day. But he's in there for running purposes because every run is so important, so you want your speed if you do get a base hit to score another run.
That's in there. Right where you want to put it. Brings a strike with 1 out. Runners cheating a little bit on first and second. Trying to make a run of it. If they can get a little base hit, come in.
Clymer, again, today's pitcher. 1 for 2 today. Got a base hit to begin the ball game. One here might put another run on the board.
There's a chop right back to the pitcher, and he'll go throw to second and got that one. And it's going to be
safe at first.
Safe at first.
Yeah, a little hesitation there by pitcher Rodriguez. Wanted to go to 3 over to third base and decided to quickly go to second, which was the right move to begin with, but that little hesitation caused him an out over at first base, as Clymer does have good speed and able to outrun it.
Brings 2 out, looking for that double play. But
So here you
Score
go.
still stays at 3-1.
Here you go, first and third, and you hate these in practice scenarios, but these are so important with first and third with 2 outs. So you try to get fancy on the base pass to try to find another run, or you put all your trust into your batter.
So runners at first and second, a stolen base, and now we're going home. There won't be a play at the plate, and Guthrie's going to cross cleanly. That's where you have the error. Baseball can make a difference.
Yeah, that was a hit and run. Hit and run there put on by the Jays. The Kell swung extremely late on that. It was a strike, but that was just to maybe throw off the catcher a little bit. Maybe that played a role in that throw, but that was well designed there by Terry Bennett Jr. and the Jays coaching staff.
So Guthrie adds to their lead 4-1, trying to make it an advancement to take on the Elgin Owls. Winner of this contest will do such, and the loser will wrap up the season. Altus still trying to hold that 10-game winning streak, beating Guthrie in the first of this tournament 1-0.
So Guthrie with the pinch runner and then the hit and run, and so they're getting a little aggressive on the base pass.
Goes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Rodriguez getting ready to deliver pitch number 21 this inning. Remember, he came in relief here.
That's a chopper. Back over. Oh, got a little bit high there, but able to get out with the damage there. So Guthrie is able to get one in with the score. Makes it 4-1, and we'll come back. Start the 5th inning right here after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Aw, look, how sad. Everybody but you has a debit card, and they're all out having fun, shopping, dining, feeling good. And here you are with crumpled cash and counting change. Not a good look, pal. Sounds like your wallet needs a friend. That friend is a PayMe debit card from Communication Federal Credit Union. Use your free PayMe card in apps, in stores, and anywhere you shop. You're good to go. Come into any branch and open your account in as little as 10 minutes or go to comfedcu.org. Communication Federal.
Welcome to OSN Baseball Sunday afternoon style, and what a delivery here. We got a 4-1 Guthrie lead over the Altus Bulldogs, with the Blue Jays with the lead after Altus put them in that loser's side, having come up with a 1-0 contest with 4 games played yesterday, and they got them all in with the weather.
A little close at the end, but Elgin started the day off beating Southeast. Guthrie ended the day beating Southeast, so Southeast is the first team eliminated in this regional. Team number 2 will be at the conclusion of this one here, but it's a good mix. You got Guthrie, a suburb of Oklahoma City, then you got Southeast in the middle of Oklahoma City, Elgin, new to 5A, Altus, a 5A well-known, so good little mix here.
Latest update on the Oklahoma Sports Network, Carl Albert leads Duncan 9-6, and they are in the 4th inning. So Carl Albert coming back as Duncan jumped out there with the lead, and we'll keep an eye on. I know that in reality we do this during football season. You can flip around, just like in sports fans, how is this team doing? How is this, And so if you're just a fan of baseball, you can kind of jump around between the two. These games will be up on archive after the conclusion of this contest. You'll be able to watch it again. That's a low in the dirt.
Yeah, Grant Oliver, the head coach over at Duncan. He's a 2010 Carl Albert alum, so I'm sure it's a little different for Grant Oliver going over there to Carl Albert, but he's got a tough task now. Got out to that lead, but you knew Carl Albert was going to come back strong, and they have.
Got him looking for the strikeout. Brings one down
Took us an hour 16 to play halfway through this ball game, Eric, and Willie Clymer with that strikeout now with 55 pitches thrown in this one so far. And Oklahoma, the max you can throw is 125.
So Brody Rogers to the plate, swing, and a miss. Make it 0-1 with 1 out. 4-1 score. Guthrie Blue Jays with the lead. Altus trying to get on base. Chop that one high. Calls for it. Boy, it took its time to finally settle down and into shortstop.
Eric, when that ball was hitting the air, I didn't know if it was going to be
there was hang time with that. I
didn't know if I didn't know if I was going to have time to get out there and get it myself.
Pretty much. It was like, okay, it's up, it's up, it's up. We go in here and we get to see this, how long it floats. It stayed up there and then finally gets that one.
The second baseman, the shortstop, and the center fielder all had jello legs trying to find that one.
And who's calling it? You know, you don't want to look bad if the wind takes that one out of sight for you.
Trust me, you can. Don't want to look bad, but I can tell you there's a bunch of people in the stands that would not be able to get that one.
Calls for time. And a little bit of discussion between third baseman and pitcher.
Throw strikes.
Okay.
That's all I think that would probably would have to say.
Mr. Evans came over and had a little bit of conversation there. Oh, that delivery almost in the dirt right there at the plate. Called for a ball, 1-1, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the fourth. 3 more exciting innings to go. Chase that one on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 with 2 outs.
Willie's had I believe it was Willie who defeated Duncan earlier this year. So he has, and I think he also defeated Dale this year. So he's got a couple of quality wins under his belt. None bigger than today, though.
There's a smack. It's going to bloop right there and fall in between, and that's going to get a man on base.
Nice job there. 2 out hit by Gribble to keep the inning going.
That's what you want to do is just get on and just work your way around. Make this a interesting contest. As Trent Carmen comes to the plate.
Second hit on the afternoon for the Bulldogs.
Man on first, 2 outs though. Running on anything. Called for a strike. Yep, so if you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's a way you can find out what's next for us in store. You know, we're kind of wrapping up all of our sports. There's really not much left except for finals. We'll have some final interviews of coaches and players for classes 2A, 3A, 4A all next Saturday.
I was talking to Levi yesterday, and I think he said he's getting ready for graduation.
Yeah, I know. And they even got a kindergarten graduation that we're going to have on the Altus channel, and then we're going to have the regular graduation. Yeah, it's high smacked. Is going to go out of play.
It's a really cool deal, Eric, with the streaming there, because obviously you have your diehard fans in town or surrounding areas, but grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles that live out of state or several hours away. I mean, what a tool.
And you know this. I mean, when I've told, there's some ADs and people that are concerned about their gates, and I said, these are people that can't go to games.
Correct.
These aren't people that are not choosing to come to games. That is smacked foul deep into left field, and that will get runner to come advanced. Going to try to get the throw. Hold up at third. Third base coach hold him up. He did not flag him.
Good decision.
So it was deep in the left, and that would have been a close play. So Altus with a little bit of rally. Get the rally caps going. A 4-1 contest. Do or die situation with 2 outs. And you got men on second and third.
Great job overall. Great hit down the left field line. Great job by the defense to save the run. So good play offensively and defensively. Good hit there by Carmen. He's 1 for 2 today.
That's right in there. Called for a strike. And the drama continues here in Elgin.
Just to wrap up your thought on the streaming deal, I think it expands the.
Oh yeah, it does.
It expands
I've
the
got a
fan
couple
base.
of stories there for you. There was one gentleman. He's in real estate and he doesn't have any kids anymore. And MacArthur 2 years ago when they went to semifinals in football, he said, I was watching it and he says it got me to go to games.
Yeah.
He says, and I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for you draw attention to a good team and a good program. And so and everything is digital now. And so everybody's doing it in some capacity. And a little slip chopper there. It's going to hit. Going to be a throw to first base and gets that one. So strand the runners. And the Guthrie Blue Jays celebrate coming to make that a stranded inning with a 4-1. So we'll take a timeout and be back right after this as we go into the top of the fifth right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Feet. We use them every day, working, playing, and usually taking them for granted. If your feet hurt, see the professionals at Southwest Foot and Ankle Clinic. They've been serving Southwest Oklahoma for the past 36 years, providing the highest quality care and combining the latest technology with old-fashioned Oklahoma compassion. With 3 locations to serve you, Lawton, Duncan, and Altus. Call today or visit us online at swokfoot.com.
West Regional semifinals ready to go to the finals. Elgin Owls wait for the advance to play the winner of this contest. So it'll be for either team, either Guthrie or Altus, it'll be like a doubleheader, trying to play games back to back, and then a possible third if you get Elgin to lose. There's a smack into the gap there, right past the shortstop. That's kind of how it started in inning number 1 for Guthrie.
Yeah, exactly. Base hit to left field by the leadoff hitter, Carson Wilder. Getting it going this time for the Blue Jays. It was Willie Clymer. As Carson's now 2 for 3 this afternoon as Rodriguez begins his second full inning of work. Cleanup hitter to the plate for the Blue Jays is Zach Henry, today's shortstop, and Zach today
called for a strike.
I think he was hit and walked in his 2 at-bats, so officially 0 for 0 today.
Well, we're at the top of the 5th, 4-1. Guthrie with the lead.
Eric, as you well know, in these regional settings, I think regionals has more emotions than maybe even the state terms, because there's 2 or 3 teams here that.
Oh, there's a nice one right down the pike, but right to center field. Just where you want it.
Yeah.
Altus is able to snag that one away.
Yeah, if you're Altus, you want every ball hit the dean. He is so good out there. But emotions are high because there's 2 or 3 teams I think they should go to state. And
sure.
And you get late in these games, you get late in the day, and the tension, it means a whole lot more.
Well, I mean, everything's on the line. It's not, it's just it's kind of like playoffs compared to regular season games.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just starting the season, wins or losses in baseball, that's how they come, and everybody has it. But when it gets to this,
there's no
do
tomorrow.
or die. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a little edgy. Everybody's pretty kept the way it needs to be. On a windy Sunday afternoon, enjoying some little OSN baseball between the Carl Albert Titans and the Duncan Demons on the Carl Albert channel, and this on the Altus channel. Guthrie and Altus. Elgin awaits the winner of this game. And right down, thought second on that, said, man, I should have swung on that one. 1-2. 1 out, man on first. The delivery and a dinger that's going to go in the gap in between, and that's going to advance safely to runners at first and second.
Hubbard today also now 2 for 3 as the first 2 guys are on base. Josh DeMint will come to the plate, and brought it up again. Do you use Josh DeMint as a bunt? And I think, as we see Terry Bennett Jr. talking to DeMint, I think you're going to see a sacrifice bunt. I think the conversation there was, does Coach Bennett want the bunt on the third base side or the first base side? And in these situations, you usually want to bunt it where all the action would be taking place. So you want to bunt to the third base side. That requires the third baseman to come in, the shortstop to come over. We'll see what's playing. Oh, what do you want?
Right back to the pitcher.
He goes to third this
time. Over to third.
Well, it was a good strategy in my head, Eric, when I had it all set out.
That's how that goes.
Yeah. It sounded really good for about 10 seconds.
And then the ball was hit.
Yeah.
Makes it 2 outs, though. Altus trying to get out of another jam that they had that 3-0 first inning, but they've really settled down since then.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Guthrie fans. Why would you think that? My thinking there, Eric, was DeMint hadn't got a hit today. If he gets runners in second and third, that brings up Eli Plagg, who has already got a hit today. He's been hitting the ball well, so that would put 2 runners in scoring position. I know there would be 2 outs, but that was my
logical.
My coaches in the stands.
That's why we're not managers and we're here, right?
Far from a manager.
Yeah. All right. So that's called for a strike. Junk ball coming up. 0-2 in the count. 2 outs. Top of the 5th, and a swing and an out.
Good job by Rodriguez.
Altus gets out of the jam.
Rodriguez did a good job of coming back. He had a couple hits in it, but came back strong, did Rodriguez.
Going to kind of see this one as we end out. Before commercial break, right down there. And the miss.
Yep.
So we'll be back at Elgin on a great Sunday afternoon baseball right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Want to take the stress out of your next remodel or building project? Comanche Home Center can deliver all the lumber, supplies, and tools right to you. When you're done, they'll pick up anything you don't use and give you credit towards your next project. Give Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Here at Carpet One, we have a great selection of carpet, hardwood, vinyl, tile, laminate, and area rugs. With all this, you're sure to find exactly what you want for your home. Come browse our exclusive selection or give Carpet One at Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Well, trying to get to state. Both teams on that verge. As we say that Altus was on a 10-game winning streak after their defeat of Guthrie in this tournament, 1-0. And now we have a 4-1 contest, bottom of the 5th. And Altus trying to, and the last time they came close, they stranded runners on second and third, was not able to advance. Trying to chip away at that Guthrie lead. And there's a quick swing and a miss.
Altus with the 1 run yesterday, good enough to beat Guthrie. 1 run so far here today. Shutout yesterday against Elgin, 3-0. Gillespie at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today.
Hits the dirt. Nice delivery from the catcher. Backstop, using his body as what catchers have to do so much. It's not a first. When kids sign up for Little League baseball, that's not where they want to go. But you get some very special ones when they can master it.
Yeah, it's fun to watch good catchers block balls,
out.
Baseballs.
2-2 the count.
Altus has a good catcher as well. I've watched him the last couple of days. He receives the ball well.
Latest update now, Carl Albert leads Duncan 13-6.
Yep.
Starting to trying to put a stamp on taking the defending champions out of the scenario of the final 8. Delivery right down for a strike and sets him down. Smith up to the plate for the Bulldogs. Your Wichita Insurance title sponsor of Altus Bulldog Baseball. Appreciate the sponsorship.
Love the sponsors, Eric. They allow things like this to take place. And we were talking about grandmas and grandpas, aunts and uncles out of state, but sometimes people at work have to work on Sunday and would love to be here at the ball field, but this gives them
can't do it.
And just great sponsors like that allow this.
You connect them to something they want to be connected to. You know, the stories that we get of the 11 schools that we have, and we represent a lot of military schools. You know, you got, of course, Lawton and its surrounding area with Cache and Elgin. You have Altus. You have Middell with Carl Albert, Midwest City, and Dell City. And we'll have people that say, hey, I'm stationed in Germany. I got to see my daughter pitch in softball. There's a hit right there, right to the first baseman. Oh, he bobbles it momentarily back to the pitcher, and that's good for the out. Nothing fancy about that. You kind of readjust when you bobble it. But, you know, and there's stories that we did a Snyder baseball. As you can see, this one hit right there, and then you see a little bit of able to get that in time. But was stationed at Guantanamo Bay. There's another hit deep out into right field and misses that. Runner is going to advance to second. And that's kind of, even though it's an error of sorts, the wind is really a factor as you can, and I'm going to kind of show those who are at home. There is the flag, and you can see the flag of what that wind is doing right there. The American flag out there.
Yeah, we were bragging on the Altus right fielder on a great play earlier, and Herzl had a chance there, and again, the ball's coming in. You want to dive for it, which he did. Luckily, it didn't go too far because Dean has tremendous speed if you're a Guthrie fan and kept him at second base.
I'm going to cheat off a little bit of second with a swing and a miss. Lead off, trying to advance to get to third, but 2 outs again. Remember, Altus was in that position with stranding runners at second and third with 2 outs. Let's see if they can try to advance to get to third. The delivery hit in the dirt post. There is that backstop by the catcher. You know, if that gets past him, then you advance that runner to third. So he kept that ball in front of him.
Yeah, that wasn't using your glove. The glove wasn't going to do anything. He threw his left shoulder down at the ball. One of the best ones, JT Realmuto. I think he's one of the best high school players I've seen in any sport. Obviously, stud with the Phillies, but he was so good at that. Still is.
Chop foul there. It's going to get a.
But anyway, you hear the sponsors, thank those sponsors, go give them a visit.
Yeah, that's right. Brings a second strike up. The delivery, low and away, 2-2. He's going to call for a little bit of a, he's going to take a little visit. Third baseman, a little communication there between Mr. Evans. He puts up a little signal up for the outfield. Understand where everybody's on the same page. We got a good runner at second. Going to lead off the bag, the delivery. And that's called for a strike right there. Got him looking and sits him down. And Guthrie gets out of the jam, and Altus strands another runner, 4-1, and we go to the top of the 6th, and we'll be back right after this. You're watching OSN Baseball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, AeroSign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. AeroSign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
All right, back here to Elgin. Chris Evans along with myself, Eric Sharon. Keeping you a little company during this Altus Guthrie matchup on the Altus channel.
It takes us to fill in for Levi. It takes two people to
yeah,
fill in
that's
for
right,
Levi.
That's right. Well, I won't. He had 4 cameras going yesterday. He had 2 iPads.
I saw it. Yeah.
I mean, he's all about using that technology. And he says, this is just a gear up for my football season.
Yeah.
And he's the one that made us create an OSN desk. We have a desk now. Altus started that we bring out before games, like a college game day set. But that's taking it to another level. And these kids deserve it, and they're the showcase. And why not?
Yeah, I brought his table up to him yesterday on his visit. Jay Springwater at the plate to begin here. I
told him to stop doing that because when he raises the bar, then the rest. I said, but you know what? I've got 11 schools that I can't replicate what you're doing, But he's taken it and owned it. And so yeah, Levi, if you're watching a good game with your team here, down 4-1, trying to get out of this jam, trying to get a rally going. We have another inning and a half to do so. Strike.
Yeah, he was
giving
me the lowdown on his equipment.
Setup, yeah.
Yeah, he's giving me a little. Saw his NDI working for him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's for those technology that can link all of that together and
without cables.
You do it. Well, I understand.
Yeah,
that's technology has really increased like that, and do what we can and. Delivery is it's kind of like he was off the mark of ready for that. It doesn't look like his feet were ready. Kind of committed to take with that 1-1 the count with 1 out. Delivery chop foul, and that's going to be 2.
Jackson 9 spot in the lineup. Leadoff hitter Willie Clymer on deck.
Well, after the Kentucky Derby yesterday, and there's really a little kind of quiet stuff. This is a good sports day to be able to watch some stuff. This cranked out back here. Calls for it is the shortstop and is able to get that one away.
Good job by Gillespie going back on the ball. Second out of the inning. Rodriguez trying to go 3 up and 3 down here in the 6th. Get his offense back up to the plate. Clymer to the plate. 1 for 3 today. That one hit coming. First bat of the ball game, sent it to left field between the shortstop and third baseman. There's one up the middle. He's now 2 for 4.
Just like that, what you need.
With that, Eric, we'll see if Coach Bennett. I'm 0 for 4 on coaching decisions here, so I'm going to try one more time.
Okay, all right.
You see if he gets,
I won't hold it against you.
Okay, see if he gets Clymer to try to steal a base in the first pitch or 2. If he gets thrown out, worst case scenario, you have 2, 3, 4 to begin the 7th inning.
Brings Evans to the plate. Calls for time. 2 outs.
Rodriguez was ready to rock and roll, and Kel was just getting into the box. Willie hadn't even took a lead off yet over at first, so.
Top of the 6th. Runner on first. 2 outs. Throw back to first. Not in time.
I think Rodriguez is thinking he's wanting to steal as well. Kel's 0 for 2 today, a pop-up and a ground ball out. I would think it's the first pitch, Eric. Okay, Eric, I think it's going to be the second pitch, Eric.
I'm glad you're guessing and I'm not.
I don't have a batting average yet, so I'm trying to get an average.
I just calls them like I sees them.
You're smart.
Yeah. Just going to wait for the delivery. Oh, they called for the bunt. Runner tries to get to second and does safely with a steal. No, he's going to steal for third.
No one's at third.
No call. No one's at third. And what a good heads-up play by Guthrie to advance, sleep at the wheel. Unfortunately for Altus, who did not figure that out in time. That's
momentum.
Mental error right there.
Well, it's momentum for Guthrie if they can get the run in. If you're Altus, though, you're just still looking to get the out, and that doesn't matter. You're worried about the batter.
Yep.
No matter where he's at on second or third, your main concern is the batter if you're an Altus fan.
Well, yeah, because it's 2 outs. It's just get out of this inning, get to the bottom of the 6th, try your rally there, and since Altus is the home team, they'll get another at-bat. Delivery, smack foul That'll be 2-1.
Get aggressive on that 2-0. What is it, 2-2?
Now, I was, and I don't think they've really said anything about weather-wise for us, but they said that if by chance they think that they have to move this next game up, instead of being 5 o'clock, they'll try for it, and that goes high. And it's able to snag that and get the out. So a pop fly for a third baseman. Like what you said, only had to wait for the batter, and the Altus Bulldogs will take it to the bottom of the 6th, and we'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When it comes to showing your loved ones you care, you need the best. A Better Design Flowers and Gifts is under new ownership, and we're proud to be serving the people of Southwest Oklahoma. Our talented florists are committed to building the most beautiful floral arrangements, as well as providing superior customer service. We service all types of events, from weddings to funerals, just because gifts, and of course, holidays. We're also a veteran-owned company. Click, call, or come by today. We'd love to show you a better design.
All right, welcome back to Elgin. We're bottom of the 6th now. Your Wichita Insurance title sponsor for, got a pitching change coming in for the Guthrie Blue Jays.
I think they're going to stay with Clymer.
Okay, they are going to stay. Okay,
they will go there.
Okay, I take that back. I thought everybody was moved away, so he was kind of just getting his warm-ups, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to stay with him, and I think he, for being in the 6th inning right now, we'll get the pitch count here in just a few seconds here, but I think he's, as far as number of pitches thrown, he's okay. Done a pretty good job of limiting his pitches per inning. And if you're Clymer or any pitcher out there, the most important pitch, I think, a lot of times is strike one. Get ahead of the count and work ahead. It helps you so much more. Willie has now, this is his 84th pitch on the check swing. Did not go down, says the first base umpire. So 84 pitches so far. Monday at the plate, he's 0 for 2 today.
Standing in. High.
But if you are Coach Bennett and the Blue Jay coaching staff, Willie, after that pitch, does have 40 pitches left. And I know it's the 6th inning, but you got to get ready for Plan B here. And if Altus can string some hits and get some base runners on base.
Well, running out of time and opportunity. There's a shot. Goes foul.
In high school baseball, mandatory, you cannot throw more than 125 pitches.
What's the pitch count now?
This is going to be number 87.
87, all right. In the dirt and away. Full count, 3-2. No outs.
Big at bat here. I know Altus got to score 3 runs, but if you can get the leadoff man on.
Oh, took that swing deep. Just a little bit too tempting. Down he goes with a strikeout.
Rogers to the plate. He's 0 for 2 as well, searching for his first hit of the afternoon.
Just a little bit of high. Chopped away at that one. for a strike, 1-1. Elgin players kind of outside the fence, kind of playing a little toss ball to kind of stay loose. Getting ready to play the winner of this contest here. High. Brings it 2-1 with one out. Here at the bottom of the 6th.
Eric, I have one more streaming nerd thing for you, and I think you'd appreciate this. My first time ever to come to Elgin. I drive by Elgin all the time to go to Lawton, but we came here for the first round playoff games, went to our radio booth, our little streaming booth.
Yes.
Hardwired internet.
Oh, yeah. No,
I was like, I'm a fan of
yeah,
Elgin.
Oh, I know.
Elgin is.
You don't get that in a lot
top.
of schools.
No,
That's
you sure
right.
don't.
That's right. We've been in different situations. We've been in stands before. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Without even a press box. That's low in the dirt, and that's going to be a ball four. Take your base.
That's what Altus wants.
Full count.
They just want base runners.
That's right, and they got it one. Now, in 2 innings, they've stranded them at second and third and one at second with 2 outs. But now it's 1 out and a man at first. There's a little bit of infield talk here as we get a little trip to the mound.
Ronnie Phillips, the
pitching coach. You think he's
coach.
done, or you think it's just he's not at the pitch count, so it's not an automatic. But
no, I think he's just going out there.
Just going to talk to him.
Yeah, just kind of relax, forget about that guy. Just throw a ground ball. We got a couple. Just don't overthink it. Just throw strikes. Keep doing what you're doing, and maybe get a ground ball, get us out of this inning. But just throw it down the middle and trust your defense. Gribble to the plate after the walk to Myers.
Chase that one. Runner advances to second. That will put a possible scoring position for Altus, who's trying to advance those runners. Only one away.
Yeah, I think Wilder, that ball didn't hit the dirt. I think he just took his eye off it at the last second. That one goes to the backstop, costs him 90 feet of bases.
Little high. 1-1. Sunday afternoon baseball, and we'll get another checkup. Carl Albert was leading over the defending state champions Duncan. We'll get a score here for you in a minute. Catch that on the Oklahoma Sports Network as well. Delivery inside, and that's going to be called for a ball. 2-1.
Duncan, a fairly young team as well. Carl Albert's got a lot of seniors. Of course, they just reload every year.
Carl Albert extends their lead to double. It's 18 or triple, 18-6 now. Top of the 5th. Kind of a little bit of a slower pace game. And they started 30 minutes prior to what we did.
Yeah.
They started at 2. We started at 2:30. The delivery is high and away and snagged, thankfully, by the catcher. So he's. This is whether the arm is starting to get a little bit of fatigue, because we've had in the dirt, we've had some high, kind of out of that range from what we saw earlier.
Now, we talk about pitch count at 125. He's getting ready to throw pitch number 99, but even without a pitch count, 99 pitches is a lot, especially
right.
for a major leaguer or college player.
Sure.
So a high school player for sure is a lot of pitches thrown.
That's called for a strike. Full count with 1 out and a man on second. Altus season trying to stay alive with advancing a runner. And that's called for a ball and walks him. Now the drama will be at the plate.
Yeah. Tie and run now at the plate for the Bulldogs.
That's why we say you couldn't ask for any more drama from a kid when you expect that, hey, here it is, last game, potential last game of the season. It's up to me at the plate. Can do it all right here with the right swing.
Carmen at the plate, 1 for 2 today. He started on the mound for the Bulldogs. He's a good infielder as well, but trying to do it for his team at the plate. Good job there by Wilder to block that ball.
Patiently waits, looks off both sides, high and away. 2-0 the count. Oh, nice cut. Net. A little bit of a tip there. Got a little bit of. Makes it 2-1. Man on first and second. Delivery down low and outside. 3-1. Make him pitch to you, as the old typical saying would be.
Yeah, if you're Carmen, you know fastball's coming here on 3-1. You know fastball's coming on 3-2.
High and away, and that walks him. And now we've loaded the bases, and the drama continues here in the bottom of the 6th here at Elgin. Winner to advance to take on the Elgin Owls, and a must-win 2 over Elgin, who's not seen a loss.
These games are hard to close out.
Delivery right in there for a strike. That's when you thought that he doesn't have any more heat left. He shows he's there to stay.
Gloria 0 for 2 today. Biggest at-bat of the year for him.
Disconnect. Just try to get a chop foul, and that's going to give strike 2. But as the only slide of good news, it's only 1 out. You have another at-bat, but Altus is stranded. Runners on base twice in 2 innings today. The delivery inside.
Well, you gotta trust that pitch. 0-2 go inside. You hit him, it's a run.
Yeah, and it was really close. He stood in there to almost take it, but wasn't there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chop foul, and he'll see another opportunity, and that hit a truck. And I always wonder where to park, and I was about 3 spaces right now. I'm not going to jinx it.
Well, I'm parked at Wichita Insurance. There's a lot of foul balls everywhere here.
I think there was a cracked windshield yesterday.
I got a picture of it.
Okay,
yeah.
I saw it posted there.
Yeah. Elgin coach
from Windows Company. Gene Burke auto glass strike. Got him looking, and he'll have an explanation as he goes back to the dugout. But as we said, with the bases loaded, you still have an opportunity at the plate with 2 out, and now you can be a hero for the Altus at the Bulldogs. You get the Bulldogs and Blue Jays, and that's been causing me havoc all afternoon.
Gillespie 0 for 3 today, but a hit here, and he forgets all about his first 3 at bats.
Yeah, he'll make all that up and then some.
Yep.
So chop that one foul for a strike 1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Strike.
It's a good pitch by Clymer. Off-speed pitch, changing it up.
Boy, this would be so much for Guthrie if they can get out of this with the bases loaded and Altus come up with nothing again. But here's an opportunity for the Bulldogs. Swing, and that's it. And that's the celebration right there for the Guthrie Blue Jays. You stranded them again. That's a total of 6 runners cannot cross the plate. It's still 4-1. Bottom of the 6th, top of the 7th coming. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You ever have a meal so good you want to dance? If you haven't yet, you will. At Gangnam Style Korean Barbecue, that's our goal. We serve only the best in Korean cuisine. We've got several different flavors of bulgogi and fried rice, premium fish plates, and sushi. Our customers love us, and you will too. Check out our menu and even order online. Come on in, and we'll show you how we do it Gangnam Style.
right, back to Elgin for this Western Regional Finals, semifinals before we get to the finals. And Altus, you just have these days. They beat Guthrie 1-0 in a pitcher's duel, and now found themselves down 4-1.
It definitely was a pitching duel yesterday.
Ooh, and he hit the helmet of the batter and walks him to first.
Eric, I think that's the 15th time that Carson Wilder has been hit this year.
Well, I think you kind of brought that on him because you mentioned that, and it's kind of like it follows him. He's got a big stature out there, a big frame at the plate. Yeah. But that was high, kind of hit at the top. And then we're going to have a base runner here.
Yeah, that's going to be a courtesy runner. That's Calvert. He's a middle infielder. He's also a relief pitcher and Blue Jay quarterback as Zach Henry comes to the plate here. And if you're Guthrie, you got a couple things. You got to think about Guthrie. You want one more run, an insurance run here, but also Willie Clymer's got 12 pitches left, and I don't think he'll even throw 12. So do you try to get a batter or two from Willie Clymer to begin the inning, or do you bring in a guy in the 7th all fresh with a clean slate to begin the 7th inning? So that's the next decision that coaches for Guthrie have to make. First things
well,
first.
unless there's extra innings, they tie it up 4-4, and then I was just going to throw out the other scenario too.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to play all that in your mind, and that's why it's a gamemanship, of umpires. I mean, between managers about what to do, when to do it, when to bunt, when not.
Well, the pitch count's going to force the hands of the Blue Jays.
Oh, that's hit right there in a gap, and that's going to send one to put runners at first and second with no outs. Kind of put a little stamp on the momentum that really started in inning number 1 with a 3-0 start of this contest. And then Altus kind of settled things down a little bit, and they got a 1 run by themselves but stranded the runners, and that's really been a difference in this matchup today.
Zach Henry now 1 for 2. Luke Hubbard to the plate, 2 for 3 today. Got a base hit yesterday. And I've had all the bunt scenarios. Guthrie will not be bunting with Luke Hubbard at the plate, who's swinging a hot stick right now. What do you know?
For the laid down the bunt there. Why not? Try to advance runners between first and second with no outs. And that sacrifice.
Yeah, regardless of how it works in the bottom of the 7th, Guthrie's going to have a new pitcher. And if that new pitcher has a 5-1 lead or 6-1 lead, it's a lot better than a 4-1 lead. So this is a big part for Guthrie's line, a huge part for Altus to keep it a 3-run ball game.
Well, and the respect for both programs. They've had great seasons. You can only pick 8 out of all these regional winners. There's nothing for the runner-ups.
Nope.
Except for getting ready for next year. And so, you put it all on the line. You lay it on the line, and you got to deal with weather. You got to deal with different lineups with your pitches. Squares the bunt, drop perfectly, and gets the runner at first. So there's one away, but he does what a bunt is supposed to. Advance your runners to second and third and just make the 1 out. So the sacrifice bunt works.
He'll get about 22 high fives from that dugout.
That's exactly right. You did what, hey, you sacrificed yourself for the team. You advance the runners, 1 away.
Now Altus forced to bring the infield in. They cut the run off at the plate.
High, outside to make it 1-0.
Dement's 0 for 3 today. Most important thing for Dement is to put the ball in play. Good pitch there by
Called
Rodriguez.
for a strike.
Yeah.
1-1.
Rodriguez has come in and did a good job. He hasn't allowed a whole lot of base runners. Given up a few hits, but he's done a good job getting out a few gems himself.
Outside. 2-1. Elgin Owls will face the winner of this contest winner. Guthrie looking for it to be that team. Altus trying to stay alive in the bottom of the 7th with a 4-1 deficit.
I think if you put a true serum in Elgin, they probably would rather have Altus win. They won the district games with them both, and then, of course, won yesterday. So Guthrie and Elgin have not played each other all season long. So if you were to ask the Owls in a private conversation, I'm sure they would pick Altus.
Right. Yeah, so it's something we're familiar with. We already beat them 3-0. So had that. That's what makes baseball fun. And that's why the state tournament is really – because then you're East versus West. These teams don't ever see each other unless it's a tournament or something else like that. And you get that with all the sports, with basketball and football. And so the best of the West meets the East. But football changed that scenario that they cross-bracket a lot sooner, so it's not one side taking all the other ones out.
Well, basketball going to district play, too.
Yeah. Saw that. Oh. And they're going to say –
well, DeMint was running like he was dodging to get out from a ball and was rung up strike 3. So Coach Terry Bennett Jr. is going to have this conversation. It's not going to change
a little discussion
anything.
here.
Yeah, just a little discussion.
Just a little bit. How you saw it, how I saw it, and okay, that's good. We're good. Let's get back to play.
He's also reporting Kellen Herzl coming in to hit. Kellen's been playing right field but being hit for, but now he'll come in to hit for himself. So Eli Plagg is officially done for this game as Kellen comes in to hit for himself.
Strike down and right down the pike, and it's 2 outs. Man on second and third.
Kellen, a freshman for the Blue Jays. He's also a
there's a
player.
chop right there to second baseman and away to get out of the inning. So Altus stays alive with not advancing those runners after the sacrifice bunt to get runners to second and third. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th. Do or die. Altus down 4-1. We'll see how it plays out right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Memorial Medical Group's orthopedic specialists are the most experienced team in Southwest Oklahoma. Our orthopedic surgeons are trained to diagnose and treat shoulder, knee, hip, hand, and foot conditions, as well as orthopedic trauma, sports, or work-related injuries. And they're the only ones in the area to offer Mako robotic-assisted surgery for knee and hip replacement. When you need bone and joint help, trust MMG Orthopedics to get you back to living your best life.
All right, back at the Elgin Field. We've got a great one here to kind of finish out the cap of the semifinals. Winner will advance to play the Elgin Owls, the host that has not seen a loss in this tournament, double elimination tournament. So that means if by chance the winning team of this game beats Elgin, they'll have to turn right around and play them again.
Yeah, sure do. Guthrie Altus playing at 2:30. One of them will play at 5 o'clock, and they're hoping one of them will play at 7:30 as Guthrie will indeed go with a new pitcher here due to the pitch count of Willie Clymer. He through 6 innings, gave up 1 run on 4 hits, and now he gives way to Hayden Calvert, the junior right-handed pitcher. And Calvert had the closing duties for a good part of the season. He's the quarterback for the Blue Jays, and he's trying to get the last 3 outs to keep the Guthrie season alive.
Yeah, another football reference. How about that? You know,
this is QB1 too.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You probably don't remember, but you said his name, Lott MacArthur. He got his very first varsity start as a freshman.
Wow.
At that Lott MacArthur game in Lawton. Yeah.
Okay. You know, that's another thing, too, and, you know, been around enough like I have to call these games. You can see great kids that come through programs that go on to the next level, sometimes the professional level, and it's so nice that you can reflect back and say, you know, I watched them then. I watched them when, you know, and so you got to see how they develop, and you get to see even people, you know, opponents. This is another little thing that I don't know how to look at talent, but I remember Sam Bradford came in, Putnam City North against Lawton High, and I think Lawton High had 3 interceptions against him that day, and he just had a lousy night. And I said, "Oh, you committed this kid?" I said, "What are they thinking?"
Well, that's professional.
Stop bloop.
Yeah, that's going to
roll
roll
it is
foul
for a little bunt. it's going to go foul.
You bring up a perfect, and that is a perfect example of, Oklahoma kid going on and do big things on the big level. But as I brought up earlier, Benway, the quarterback for Altus, he's a town legend at Altus. He won a state championship for him. I'm in Guthrie. I know all about that. And he's on the coaching staff. So there's some great stories like that as well.
Yeah, and and especially I love when a lot of these guys will go away and they'll come back and they'll give back to the communities in which gave to them. And so that's going to be a hit. It's going to go deep. And it's going to be able to be fielded, and the left fielder.
That's Willie Clymer.
So
the pitcher now left
fielder gets a little bit of work out.
He can't stay away from the ball. He's a ball hog. Good job there by Coward to get the first down of the inning, and to pitch to Dean with nobody on is huge. Dean 2 for 3 today. Man, he has been fun to watch the last couple of days.
So one away before they try the celebration of the win to take on Elgin in a short little brief. I guess they'll try to get the next game in at 5 o'clock. Kind of soupy and humid out here after we've had kind of a selection of weather habits. This morning woke up, after that rain came through, it was cloudy and overcast the whole morning. And then as I was coming out here to set up, I said, we were set up the tent. I think the sun's going to make its way out, and it did.
Yeah.
And that's low and out, 1-1.
Yeah, the drive here from Guthrie was clouds the entire way. We got out to get a sandwich and a drink, and the sun came out right when we opened the car door.
That's going to be smacked out high enough to be fielded by the right fielder, and 2 away. So 1 out away from wrapping this one up.
Ball hit right
Hunter
at
Myers
DeMint.
coming up.
Yeah, DeMint hadn't been playing left field with Clymer on the mound, but with Clymer going to left field now, he moves over to right field. Did a good job of filling that one. Now, final chance here for the Bulldogs.
High. Yeah, and the reality's starting to sink in unless you can get the rally caps going, and they've had their share at bats. They've between Guthrie's 9 hits, Altus' 4. Only 1 error for Guthrie and 2 for Altus, so clean there, and another strike coming in. 1-1.
Myers 0 for 3 today.
The delivery and took that one high and away, and it's a strike. 1 strike away from wrapping this up with 2 outs. Guthrie going to take a little 20-minute breather to come back for a doubleheader action with this strikeout here, high and away.
Game
2-2.
Game now 2 hours and 1 minute old, so
little lengthy sometimes. Pace is up. There it is, and that's it. A swing out for an opportunity, and the Guthrie Blue Jays will advance. And everybody that's set up camp here to see another game for the long stretch from Guthrie to Elgin is going to make it a day. And so we're going to kind of wrap things up. Your final 4-1. The Guthrie Blue Jays defeat the Altus Bulldogs. Altus, with their 10-game winning streak, saw with their 10th win over Guthrie 1-0 in this tournament, falls to Guthrie 4-1 in the elimination game. Up next on the Elgin channel, and we'll start about 5 o'clock is from what I understand. And Joe Absher from Wayne's Drive-In, a big baseball phenomenon, is going to join us in the broadcast booth as well. And we'll take a brief time out and be back right after this. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.